It's Sunday morning and I'm up. Fact. Your husband disappeared Friday.
Fact, I know he did.
Fact. We reported this to the police.
Fact, the police are boring.
However, Detective Sergeant Tomlin seems to be under the impression that you and I have something to do with it. He's probably hot on the trail at this very moment. Anyhow, fact.
Look, I wish you'd stop saying fact like that.
Sorry, I'm just trying to be methodical, but I mean, if it bothers you...
It bothers me.
Fact, no. I mean, we know that his friends know nothing about it.
Neither of them.
But he's taken his razor and a stuffed crocodile and left a video cassette with a message on it.
Saying goodbye forever, dear. I'm sure this is the best thing for both of us at bloody Cetra.
I thought you seemed quite nice, really. Sorry, none of my business.
Fact, when you examined the cassette later on in the day...
You just said fact.
Well, it's a perfectly good word, but I go off it if somebody says it 37 times in 2 minutes.
Yeah, like football commentators when they say scoreline when they mean score.
I hate football.
Yeah, well, that's probably because nobody's ever explained it to you properly.
Jim explained it to me all the time for days on end.
Anyway, I interrupted your fact.
Oh, I've forgotten what it was now.
Well, we were talking about the cassette of Jim talking.
That's it.
When I went back to look at the cassette, it wasn't him anymore. It was somebody else saying, lay off, fella in funny clothes.
And they did something to your front door as well, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was rather neat. Very good job.
So,
I thought if we put all the facts together... Do you mind? I haven't said it for a few minutes.
go on.
If we put them together in this file, look, I call it the Threadgold file. Right? Now, by looking at all the facts, maybe we'll see a pattern. You know, work out what's happened.
I see.
Right, now then, one point at a time. Somebody has helped your husband disappear. Check?
Check.
Could have been his close friends, except he hasn't got any. Check?
Check.
So someone has helped him, how can we say, on a business footing. Check?
Check.
An organisation.
And if there's an organisation, they might have helped other people disappear too. Check.
Check. This might be the breakthrough we've been looking for, Watson.
Robin.
Robin.
Well, I'd rather be Robin than Watson.
Robin who?
Robin nobody. Batman's Robin.
Oh, him.
Look, let's go back 3 squares and start again.
No, then. I've cracked it.
Excuse me, you've just spilt your information.
Not only that, I've just made a decision. I think. Switch the radio on.
How do I do that?
Well, with the switch, turn it from off to on.
What for?
We want to find out if other people have disappeared, right?
I know that. I'm talking about the radio.
The radio's the answer.
To the Steve Nicholson Show.
And we've got a gang of sprightly senior citizens at the Derby and Joan Club who are looking for a cheap or even a free lawnmower.
Nobody's having my lawnmower.
So while you're digging deep into your milk of human kindness, here's a golden oldie.
When I finish speaking, please leave your message together with an address and/or telephone number where we might contact you. Thank you. Please speak now.
Incredible.
Yeah? You really think so, eh?
Probably useless, but incredible.
Why should anybody want to talk to me on a Sunday morning? And who am I speaking to? Sir, madam, he, she, it?
Good morning. This is a he speaking.
And a very fine, resonant voice you have too, if I may say so, sir. Could I have your name, please?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't tell you my name for personal reasons.
I'm sorry. The editor regrets we cannot accept anonymous contributions. Station policy, you see, sir.
Look, supposing I tell you I'm from Alcoholics Anonymous.
Are you?
A very wonderful organisation that does really amazing work within the community. Is it something you wanted to say on behalf of Alcoholics Anonymous?
I've got nothing to do with Alcoholics Anonymous. But it's something rather similar. I'm speaking on behalf of Disappearances Anonymous.
Disappearances Anonymous?
Yeah, we look after friends and relatives of people who've gone missing. Missing husbands, wives, sons, daughters, anything of that kind. But excluding animals. And, we try to find the people who are missing.
I'm sorry, who are all these people?
Well, that's just the point, you see. We don't know who they are. We know that some people disappear. That is to say, they leave home without leaving word.
This programme's called Swaparama. What would you like to exchange?
Well, we want to exchange help and guidance, information about people who might or might not have disappeared without trace. Whether the police are too busy, you see. And so, if anybody has lost anybody and wants help on how to recover them, well, if they'd ring Disappearances Anonymous at 524-748. I'll just repeat that. That's Disappearances Anonymous at 524-748.
Look, do you or do you not want to give the old age pensioners a lawnmower?
I'd be delighted.
That's really wonderful.
Except I haven't got one. I live in a flat.
I'll have to cut you short, sir. We have other callers on the line. And besides, it's time for another golden oldie.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll just repeat that telephone number. It's... I hadn't finished.
Well, he didn't know what the hell was going on.
It was clear enough to me.
I'm delighted to hear it.
I didn't even tell him about the 24-hour answering service.
24-hour answering service.
This?
Well, couldn't you just sit here and answer the telephone when it rings?
No, not if we're off to the pub for some breakfast.
Don't you mean lunch?
This is a recorded announcement from Disappearances Anonymous. When I finish speaking, please leave your message together with an address and/or telephone number where we might contact you. Thank you. Please speak now.
I think I've lost my husband. My name is Perry. My telephone number is 96524. And I live at the vicarage, St. Mark's Church, just off the city road. You see, he was a vicar. The vicar. He is the vicar. Can you help me? I think I need help.
That's great. That's easily the best one yet.
Why so happy? The woman sounds in a shocking state.
Yeah, but it fits the pattern, doesn't it? Well, none of the others do. Look at them. First, a fella saying, knock it off, letter follows. Sounds like the man on the cassette.
The one that fixed your door.
Yeah, could be. Then a heavy breather. Then some joker ringing up about losing his duck-billed platypus.
He couldn't survive in this climate.
Next, the heavy breather again. And then the vicar's wife. And that's the one we talked to.
Well, she's obviously the only one we can take seriously. Surely people don't really throw bricks through windows.
They do round here. If they can find one with glass in.
With messages attached?
Eh?
It says, this is the letter that follows a phone call. Knock it off or you'll get hurt. Can you see anybody?
Just the usual. Dead cat and a stray milkman. There's a little yellow car. Volkswagen.
Somebody trying to frighten us.
Yeah.
Are you frightened?
Yeah, a bit. You?
A bit.
So, what do? Do we go see this vicar's wife?
It is Sunday.
Eh?
You got a pump?
What do you think?
Oh, come on, God. Are you on our side or not?
Could have been worse.
What do you mean?
Well, at least they haven't been shot at.
All right, lad, come on your way. Don't hang around here. Off you go, then. Go on. You're on your way. What a apt little coincidence.
This is fun.
Yeah. Think of all the energy we're conserving. I think it's next on the right.
Is that it?
That's it.
Up all those steps. Will they be all right here?
Yeah, of course it will. Who's going to nick these?
We did.
No, we didn't. We borrowed them. I've told you, I've talked to them. They're a commune, and they don't believe in property. Everything should belong to everybody, so they say. I've asked them.
I'll believe you.
And when did you last see your bicycles?
When did you last see your husband, Mrs. Perry?
A week ago,
Last Sunday.
just after the evening service.
I see. Well, how have you managed today, then?
I'm sorry?
Well, it's a sort of a working day, isn't it? Sundays. I mean, how have you been coping with the services and things?
There is only the evening service. I'll tell them my husband is ill. Only about 6 people come in any case.
What about Sunday school? Do you still have Sunday school?
Oh, yes, that is to say, I cancelled the Sunday school today.
What, told the children your husband was ill?
No,
What did you tell them?
my husband doesn't take the Sunday school.
So what's the problem?
Miss Phillips takes the Sunday school.
This Miss Phillips, she wouldn't by any chance have disappeared as well.
Yes,
Last Sunday?
just after the evening service. Just popping round to Stephanie's to have a word about the garden party.
Have you had any word from him since he left? You know, phone calls or video cassettes?
Donkeys on the beach at Scarborough.
I beg your pardon?
Donkeys on the beach at Scarborough. You heard what Mrs. Perry said.
I'm very sorry, my dear, but I'm sure this is the best thing for both of us. A fresh start with a new life. I've looked after all the money side and things like that. Hope all goes well with you. Love.
Same old story.
Is it?
Mine cleared off last Friday.
Really? Oh, damn these Christians.
May I see?
You're welcome.
Oh, I see. Donkeys on the beach at Scarborough. Does that mean they've run away to Scarborough?
No, it means some donkeys have run away to Scarborough.
Well, it could be a bluff. They might be in Blackpool, say.
Why do you want to damn the Christians?
Skegness.
They give up everything for the love of gentle Jesus, meek and mild, and then, after 10 or 15 years of loving Jesus, sacrificing everything to his blessed memory, devoting their lives to the Spirit, one day they discover the flesh.
Well, it's not bad.
Oh, I know that. They don't. They think it's wicked and sinful and affects the eyesight. And then Vicar meets Sunday school teacher. Suddenly, it's the day of revelation. Pow, bang, crash, zowie, curse, splat. Take the good book back to the library. It's time for donkey rides on the beach at Scarborough, folks.
Straight question, Mrs. Perry. Do you want him back?
Well, not particularly. He was dead boring when he was the local saint. And since he went over to the other side, he's been a spotty, lovesick adolescent.
You know, the thing that interests me...
Quiet, this is none of your business.
I just want to know what's going on, that's all. And I want to avoid gangs of reporters doing stuff about vicar and Sunday school teacher and secret love nest. At least he's not a verger or a choir boy.
Am I allowed to speak?
You speak, we'll decide whether to take notice.
No. I'm just wondering what he did from Mondays to Saturdays.
What he did?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find a pattern. Trying to work out what's happened and how and why.
Well,
What's it? Sundays we know about.
he just wandered round the parish, doing good works, turning the other cheek.
Any friends? Known associates? Did he belong to the squash club? Or
Oh,
anything?
no, just the Literary Society.
The Literary Society?
Gasps from the audience, crashing chords.
What?
My old man belonged to the Literary Society as well.
Learned lectures about the Bloomsbury Group.
Erotic imagery in Jane Austen.
Charlotte Bronte's early period.
You don't see it as some sort of Yorkshire Mafia Front organisation, do you?
Not even a Yorkshire backside organisation.
I might make a note of it all the same. For me files.
May I ask you a personal question?
Surely.
If your blokes run off to join the donkeys, does that mean you and this bloke are anything?
Oh, no, we're nothing. We teach on the same staff at Colett's Comprehensive, that's all.
Not even good friends.
But co-founders of Disappearances Anonymous.
It's good to talk to somebody that isn't...
It isn't what?
that isn't the somebody you've been talking to for the last 15 years.
Yeah, I know. Do you fancy going out and getting smashed tonight?
It'll have to be after 7 o'clock. I must stick around and tell the congregation there's no show tonight.
Salvation postponed until further notice.
Amen.
I like her.
Damn.
Who are you damning, the Christians?
We should have asked to borrow a photograph of the vicar and this Miss Phillips.
For the files?
Oh, so we know who we're looking for.
Well, that solves one problem. We can ask to see photographs of her husband and his girlfriend when we go back and ask her for the lift.
The sods!
The mysterious hooded Mr. X.
Yeah, very neatly done, isn't it? It's like the tyres and my front door.
A villain with O-levels.
Well, they do all levels in prison, you know. Rehabilitation.
That's the Reverend gentleman.
Oh, I see. It's funny, he doesn't look the sort
That's
that...
often the case.
And that's the Scarlet Woman.
She doesn't look the sort either.
No, poor little cow. Anyway, help yourself. I was going to put them in the album, but somehow I haven't the heart. Look, about the lift.
Look, if it's not convenient, it really doesn't matter.
Oh, that's good, because I was forgetting. They've taken the car.
They? Oh, they.
We'll catch the bus.
Hello? Hello, who's that? This is 96524. Who's that speaking? Oh, come on. You're not even breathing heavily.
When in doubt, panic. Come in.
Can I come in? Thank you. You know, I thought you might be looking for something.
Well, in a way.
Have you got time for a little chat?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Threadcoat. Could I interest you in my special offer?
What are you talking about?
To relieve the loneliness of an abandoned wife with a little drunken conversation?
I see. Come in.
Who could refuse such an offer?
Well, I could very easily. But it's good of you to call, and I'll make you some black coffee.
You're a princess.
Rubbish. I can't stand horses.
Fact. You haven't yet produced the lady's missing husband, despite several requests from the police to do so.
Yeah, he's cleared off, that's why.
Fact. You've been out all of the day.
That's where I got it from.
Got what from?
Oh, nothing. Just a little factual thing that's been bothering me.
I checked your car, you know. You do realise it isn't roadworthy.
Oh, somebody let the tyres down.
Well, the doors weren't locked.
It's impossible to lock them.
So I happened to remove what appeared to be an important file. In your interests.
In my interests.
Yeah, strictly yours.
Thanks very much. It didn't happen to slide open while in your possession, did it?
It's funny you should say that.
Oh, Sergeant.
One more week, then back to education. You should get out before it's too late.
I enjoy teaching.
That's very quaint. It seems to me nobody enjoys anything very much. I look round at what I laughingly call my friends. I can make out a case for any one of them running away the way your bloke did. Each and every one of them. Just leave the door slightly ajar, they'll be off like the clappers.
You're just cynical and twisted and bitter. No disrespect.
Oh, no offense taken, my dear.
There are happy and contented people around.
Name one happy and contented person. See? Your hair looks very nice.
I mean, it's a free country. Anyone can play detective if they like.
It's not that exactly.
But when I see pieces of paper like this, heading, murder possibilities, well, I read on. If Jim was murdered, we must consider how it was done. Possibilities include A, shooting, B, poisoning, C, drowning, D, strangulation, E, blunt instrument, F, stabbing, G, impact by vehicle. What's impact by vehicle?
Getting clobbered by a truck.
Have you got a truck?
No,
No, but you got a car.
it isn't roadworthy.
But I'm right to be suspicious when I read stuff like this.
No, look, I'm sorry. You're wrong to be suspicious when you see stuff like that. It's just idle speculation.
You're a school teacher, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you be better employed marking homework or something?
I teach woodwork. Fill this place up with standard lamps, there'll be no room left for me to mark 'em.
And what about Disappearances Anonymous?
About what?
That was you, wasn't it? Your telephone number.
Did you check?
Oh, I checked.
Are you the heavy breather?
Let me help you dry your hair.
It's dry.
I've often been complimented on the softness of my hands.
Call at your office and examine signed letters from satisfied customers.
No, Mrs. Threadcoat, listen to me. If I said to you, I'm sick of my life, sick unto death, I think I shall run away from it all. Would you come with me?
If you said that to me, Mr. Meagan,
Yes,
and I'd rather you didn't, but if you did,
if I did.
I'd probably kick you in the ghoulies.
Saved by the bell, chaps.
And no more daft detective games. All right?
All right.
All right. And get that car fixed and road tested before you drive anywhere in it, all right?
All right.
All right. And no more irresponsible telephone calls to radio stations, all right? Right.
But you still want us to find the missing husband? Or that's what you said yesterday. All right?
All right.
We didn't kill him. Honest.
Did you steal a couple of bicycles?
What, somebody lost some bicycles?
Yeah. Neighbours of yours. Simulated human beings living in a commune.
I'll give you a clue.
What?
St. Mark's Church, just off the city road. Do you know it?
Yeah?
Found some bicycles there. I had a tip-off. I'm not a bad detective, you know.
Are you having a go at me?
I'm not saying they're roadworthy, but that's where they are.
St. Mark's? What's the name of the vicar?
Perry. All right?
Oh.
It's good to see you.
We just need the head and half a dozen bright young graduates with Trotskyite leanings. We could have a staff meeting.
I just wanted to see if you were all right.
I'm fine, surrounded by well-wishers, as you can see.
Any news from your husband?
None.
Just sitting by the phone, waiting.
No, going out to get drunk.
You're not...
No, not with Mr. Megan. He's going home for a cold shower.
Really?
And if Jim phones and I'm not here, he can send me a postcard with donkeys on. No, sorry. It's all part of Inspector Keaton's investigations.
You're going out drinking with him, aren't you?
No, going with the vicar's wife.
Of course. Who else? Lovely woman.
Now, if you'll both excuse me, I think I'll go and change.
For an abandoned woman, she seems pretty cheerful.
That's good, isn't it?
If I was a whale, perhaps you'd save me.
Your capacity must be about the same.
Hello, Mr. Doyle? Secretary of the Literary Society? Ah, good. Well, according to my information, you've a meeting tomorrow night. Yeah. Well, I was wondering, can anybody join? Oh, right. Good. Thank you. What time is it? I see. Yeah, right, good. I'll be there. Pardon? DHU? Oh, I see, yeah. Huh? Sounds great. Right, we'll see you tomorrow then. Good night. Perhaps I ought to read a book. I used to have a book. The Institute was founded by a Victorian benefactor in the 19th century to improve the minds of the citizens. I bet you didn't think it would take this long. Nobody seems to know what business the benefactor made his money out of. But my guess is he manufactured staircases. You got the feeling that behind these doors, ancient clerks were writing in dusty ledgers, or elders of the church were busily walling up nuns. But that was no concern of mine. I was looking for the Literary Society.
Doyle is my name. Honorary Secretary.
Keaton. Neville Keaton. I rang you up.
You rang me, not up.
No, suppose not.
In the beginning was the Word, Mr. Keaton. It's what separates us from the beasts of the field. Mrs. Moffat and Mr. Moffat. Mr. Keaton has discovered a keen interest in literature. He's come to have a look at us, see whether he likes us.
Do you write?
Oh, no. I'm a woodwork teacher.
Who is your favorite writer?
Now, that's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, doesn't it depend really on, you know, who you prefer? I mean, I could say Shakespeare.
Why not say Shakespeare?
I'll say Shakespeare. Is this the usual sort of turnout?
If you're concerned purely with numbers, yes.
But there are only 3 members of any significance.
Only 3 with genuine insight and creative intelligence.
1, 2, 3.
Who knows? After tonight, there may be 4.
What about Mr. Threadgold and Mr. Perry?
Mr. Threadgold? Mr. Perry?
I thought they were members.
Do you know them?
I know their wives.
Really?
Slightly.
Mr. Threadgold and Mr. Perry aren't here.
Yeah, I'd more or less realised.
I have no interest whatsoever in people who do not attend a society to which they proclaim loyalty.
We believe in loyalty in the society.
Dedication.
Truth.
I drank too much last night.
So did I.
Want some more?
Yes.
Let's go somewhere we shouldn't.
Good idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are privileged because we are to hear a talk by our good friend Leonard Moffat, who is going to speak about another good friend, D.H. Lawrence. I never knew Lawrence personally, and it would, I fear, have been a rather limited relationship, as I was only 1 year old when he died. However, tonight I am sure that David Herbert Lawrence will live again. Mr. Moffat.
If you ask the average plumber, turf accountant, or a woodwork teacher, who is D.H. Lawrence, the chances are he will reply, isn't that the man who wrote the dirty books? And the answer, of course, is yes. And at the same time, no. How, you may ask, can a book be dirty and clean at the same time? The answer, my friends, is very easily. Let us all think very carefully about the sexual act.
These people are all crazy. Unless they're all sane, in which case...
Do you know what I was going to do if my reverend gentleman hadn't run away?
How many guesses?
3.
Join a tennis club?
No?
Go on the game?
No?
Start embroidering a sampler?
No. I was going to run away, take up my kids and walk.
What kids?
School holidays, I was grandparents in Scotland.
Very hilly, Scotland.
The thing about running away is that it should be done properly and tidily, with a note on the mantelpiece and an exchange of addresses between your solicitors.
Right. It shouldn't be mysterious and messy.
Do it in style. I can just remember having style.
D.H. Lawrence never ran away. Yet, in another sense, he was running away all the time. He was like no man who ever lived before or since, and at the same time, he was like every man who ever lived. He abused the English language like a docker and adorned it like an angel. He was repelled by the act of sex, and simultaneously he worshipped the act of sex. He sought to dominate the women in his life, and was equally dominated by the women in his life.
Do you know you'd still got a panda?
A panda, did you say?
Yes, like a teddy bear, only a panda.
Jim had a crocodile.
He said that when he was small, 3 years old, and the war was still on, the panda gave him comfort in the air raids.
Has he still got it?
I'll give him credit, he slept with it under the pillow.
Did he take it with him?
Oh, yes.
Jim took his crocodile.
I thought you said crocodile.
Thank you, Mr. Moffat, for that extremely stimulating talk, which will provoke, I'm sure, a great deal of discussion. The meeting is open to the floor.
I'm sure Mr. Keaton's reactions would be most interesting.
Yes, indeed. How does D.H. Lawrence appear to you? From the workbench, so to speak.
Although, putting it another way, I think... Let me start again. I've very much enjoyed what Mr. Moffat had to say, while at the same time not enjoying all of it. It seemed to me to be very good, yet simultaneously not all that good. And in conclusion, while we're on the subject of D.H. Lawrence, I think we should remember all the good work he did for the Arabs.
Thank you, Mr. Keaton. Is there anybody else who wishes to contribute to the discussion?
The silence was bursting my eardrums.
I'd be happy to answer any questions.
The atmosphere was dense with nuttiness.
Come along. I'm sure you're all bursting to ask questions.
The world needed a question or it would surely explode. Yeah, I'd like to ask a question. Can you direct me to the gentleman's?
Along the corridor to the left.
You'll find it's quite a long way.
Good. Yet in another sense, bad.
What a very disturbing young man.
But on the other hand...
Please don't contradict. You've already driven Mr. Keaton away.
He's just gone for a...
We all know what he's gone
I didn't really want to go to the gents. I was just looking for fresh air and sanity. Well, we all need to have ambition. Suddenly, I wanted to go to the gents.
Of course, we must always remember that D.H. Lawrence was a man who was running away.
Ah, but was he?
Of course he was.
Running away?
Yeah.
Not running towards something, perhaps?
Chasing the rainbow.
I think we should not joke about D.H. Lawrence.
With 87 pounds, I was free.
Broadly speaking, does this belong to you?
Broadly speaking, no. But he said he'd call round for a coffee after his meeting.
What meeting might that be?
The Literary Society talk on D.H. Lawrence.
He wrote dirty books, didn't he?
Yeah, at the same time, clean.
What's happened?
A case of mistaken identity. Clerical error.
Injury sustained while I wasn't resisting arrest.
Technically, you're wrong there, Mr. Keaton.
I wasn't resisting.
You weren't being arrested.
What the hell have you done to him?
Very little. And happily, you've confirmed his story for him.
What story?
About this literary society. We'll have to check the dirty books aspect of it, of course, but...
Look, someone explain to me what's been going on.
21:20 hours, somebody reports a prowler on the premises of the Institute. 21:30 hours, we partially encircle the building.
Partially encircle.
Large building. 4 officers.
And?
A small shadowy figure emerges from the rear door and runs down the fire escape, where we are waiting.
And you hit him?
We applied the necessary restraint, believing him to be a prowler.
They hit me.
And Mr. Keaton explained his story about this strange society.
Look, it's true.
People who attend lectures on D.H. Lawrence do not, as a rule, exit by the fire escape.
I was being chased.
Were you?
There was a prowler on the premises, prowling after me.
And did you catch the prowler?
Alas, no. He effected his getaway.
In a yellow Volkswagen.
And as we were given to understand that Mr. Keaton was going to visit you here for a friendly cup of coffee, it seemed only the right thing to do under the circumstances to give him a lift home.
You give him a lift and we'll say nothing about police brutality.
And that, Mrs. Threadgold, there are a great many things what we are saying nothing about. Motor cars that run roadworthy, secret files, missing husbands, dismantled bicycles in churchyards. Thanks for the tip, by the way.
Any danger of actually drinking that coffee?
Very soon. I have visitors at the moment, but I think they're going.
Oh. Indeed, yes. Always plenty to be getting on with. I'll see myself out.
Oh, forgive me if I watch you, just to make sure. That eye really is nasty. Could I put something on it?
No, look, it's all right. As my old mother used to say, bruises and blood, that's nature's way of curing things.
It's a theory.
Oh, look at that. Great. So, look, you went round the vicar's, eh?
Yes.
She all right?
Fine. We went out on the booze.
The vicar? Was he crazy?
Not medically so, as far as I know.
And your Jim, was he crazy?
Oh, no, he was very sane. That was the trouble. So deadly dull and ordinary, it wasn't true. But why all this concern with sanity?
Well, it seems to be a necessary qualification of membership of the Literary Society. They're all a bit potty.
Like who?
Like Leonard and Frida Moffat, for a start. He's giving the talk, right? Oh, Herbert Doyle. Secretary and godfather.
Doyle.
Doyle. Rhymes with Boyle. What, you put a poultice on?
Are you sure that's all right? I could put a poultice on.
No, it's okay, honest.
Just a minute. Where's my bag?
What, you carry poultices?
You remember Mrs. Perry had a postcard from Scarborough?
Donkeys on the beach.
That one. Well, I thought it was familiar somehow.
All these donkeys look alike.
What's so funny?
You're putting all your cards on the table.
Oh, ho, on with the fun. Look, what do you notice?
Well, each one is both alike, same as the other one.
Read them.
Number 1 from the Reverend Perry. About making a fresh start, a new life, all that stuff. Number 2, having a wonderful time, wish you were here kind of thing. From Herbert Doyle.
Herbert Doyle rhymes with Boyle.
But it's addressed to you and your late husband, if you'll forgive the expression.
Herbert Doyle has a caravan on the coast just south of Scarborough.
Hey, these are clues, aren't they?
I reckon.
Fact, your husband and Mrs. Perry's husband were both in the Literary Society.
Fact. The Literary Society is full of loonies, especially Herbert Doyle.
Fact.
Oh, look, let's stop saying fact.
Sorry.
We think there's an organisation helping these menopausal husbands to slink away.
Well, maybe they're slinking away to Herbert Doyle's caravan.
Well, it could be a sort of transit camp. You know, stay there until they move on to South America or a deserted island off the west coast of Scotland.
That's terrific. Right. Fancy a trip to the seaside tomorrow?
Buckets and spades.
Candy floss.
Whelks.
Saucy postcards.
Seaside tomorrow.
That's if me and my motor car well enough to travel.
It really does look nasty. I could put a steak on it.
Have you got any?
No. I've got some bacon and a tin of corned beef.
Kiss it better.
Thank you.
Better?
Getting better.
Second post. It's always late. Was the post?
Not ticking, is it?
No.
Was it a threatening message?
If you want to get hurt, you're going the right way about it. Signed a well-wisher.
Oh, not well-wisher.
Afraid so.
Prowling well-wisher in Volkswagen.
And this.
What's that?
That is the tail of Jim's crocodile.
Oh,
I could use some sea air.
me Bruce feels better already.